All right, Saagar, what are you looking at?
Well, Barack Obama is at a crossroads. He and Michelle have milked their post-presidential fame for $100 million or so that it's worth. His terrible podcast, not getting picked up by Spotify. His Netflix show, by all accounts, a complete joke and a failure. He is fading from the spotlight, something that an egomaniac like him simply cannot handle. At the same time, he can't do what he actually does best, which is involve himself in politics. Both because he literally cannot run for office again, and second, because if he steps up too much in culture wars like he did when he was a politician, it would be bad for business. The sad truth is that Obama, he's just a run-of-the-mill celebrity now. So he's fishing around for what an elder statesman like himself can latch onto. Something like political, but not too political. Something that seems like he's still singing the tune of change, but doesn't actually challenge the status quo. And over the weekend, we got our glimpse into Obama 4.0, possibly the most dangerous iteration yet. Obama recently appeared at a Stanford University for a speech to decry the crisis of disinformation on the internet. He blamed the internet and the drop in shared facts amongst the US population for our current social strife. And he ended his speech with a thunderous new call for regulation of speech online. Now, he didn't say anything specific, but Obama is completing the final stage of the COPE tour since the election of Donald Trump in 2016, which served as a rebuke of his entire legacy. What you see here is that on the day that Trump won the election, it was not an accident. The immediate thing that was blamed was quote-unquote fake news. It was not conceivable to the American elite that 65 million people could have voted for the guy from The Freaking Apprentice. They simply must have been duped. The answer was not possible that Hillary Clinton is one of the worst possible people to ever run for office. The answer could not be that millions felt betrayed by Barack Obama himself as the country frayed under his leadership. The answer could not be that the neoliberal dream and the cultural left politics pushed institutionally by Obama had ripped the country apart and made it borderline ungovernable, made it susceptible to vote for a Donald Trump as a true screw you to the system in the first place. All those answers would indict not only Obama's presidency, but the oligarchic elite that Obama promised to challenge and became a part of instead. It is not an accident that the very first thing that he did after leaving office was to go to Richard Branson's private island to hang out with billionaires. Now, you might think I'm editorializing, but Obama himself has all but admitted to this. In a New York Times story previewing his call to censor speech online, his advisor said, quote, "Looking back at his administration's approach, Mr. Obama has said he would not pinpoint any one action or piece of legislation that he might have handled differently." So there it is. Nothing to do with his handling of the housing crisis. Nothing to do with the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Nothing to do with illegal immigration. No, Obama cannot fail. He can only be failed. Obama's assault on free speech is thinly veiled. Ironically, it is the exact same logic for which Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter. Companies need to have a North Star other than making money, he says. Elon agrees. That's why he wants free speech online. But Obama and his ilk, no, they want the opposite. When Obama and the media tell you that they want to protect democracy, what they really mean is they want to protect their power. Democracy is legitimate when they get elected and they win. It's illegitimate and flawed when they lose. Got it? It's that simple. It's the ability of people to freely talk online. Consider the far-reaching consequences also of Obama's pronouncement. Obama claims in his speech that algorithms are responsible for the death of trust in American society, that those are what should be regulated. And, there is something to that. But also consider this. Under the presidency of Barack Obama, a fifth of Republicans in America believed that he was a secret Muslim born in Kenya. And guess what? That wasn't algorithmically spread. In fact, the birther conspiracy was entirely fed by email forwarding. Now look, obviously, that theory is fake. But under Obama's framework, should the government be able to regulate what people are emailing each other? The obvious answer to me seems no, and it highlights what I'm trying to get at. The crisis of trust in America is not the fault of technology. Technology only exacerbates and makes obvious the wounds that already exist within existing body politic. The job of people like Obama is to try and restore that trust by making their lives better. And when they don't, people fall prey to all sorts of crazy stuff. It's not the fault of the theories. It is the fault of the leaders who betrayed their trust given to them by the American public and have been doing so for decades. Obama's turn on tech is ironic also, given that his administration, more than anyone, allied itself with Silicon Valley. His former staffers are all over the C-suite executive rooms of some of the top tech companies in America. He famously played buddy-buddy with Mark Zuckerberg and Sergey Brin and Larry Page while he was in office. His current turn against tech is the same as the entire liberal elite's project. They cannot stomach the idea that they do not control what people think. so they must blame somebody else, and then seize the current means of information distribution to ensure they are not embarrassed or challenged as when Donald Trump won the election in 2016. You would think Barack Obama, of all people, would understand this. Think back to the ancient times of 2007, during the 2008 Democratic presidential primary. Hillary Clinton was the Democratic elite, and she was poised to win. A skinny Kenyan senator named Barack Obama wanted to challenge her. He did not have the power, but he did have his voice, and he took to the internet. He hired a former Facebook founder to run his website, and for the first time in modern American politics, raised hundreds of millions of dollars online. He got his message out to eventually win the presidency of the United States. Barack Obama would not be president without the internet. For that matter, almost nobody who is prominent today who challenges existing power would also do so. But he is the power now, so he is turning his back on the ability of a future Barack Obama to get elected. The crisis of American society today is one of a defunct leadership class like Obama that refuses to acknowledge its own failures and then rigs the rules to make sure that nobody can supplant them. When the revolution comes, it will not be because people read a Facebook post or watched a silly YouTube video. It will be because maybe they are someone my age who watched their beautiful country throw itself into 2 wars, give up its manufacturing capacity, which made it great in the first place, let itself get mired in ridiculous culture war fights, while the edifice holding all of us up crumbles without any attention from the leadership class. My message to them is the only way to avoid a bigger confrontation is to allow free speech on the internet, to allow a new generation and a dissident class a chance at speaking to the people, seizing the reins of power and correcting the follies of those who came before us. Now, I'm not naive. I know they're not going to do it. So buckle up, people, because the war for the internet has really only just begun. And I think it's crazy when you consider it in the Obama...
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.